What's going on, you guys? Blues over here at Blue Chip Athletic Club and talking to you guys about a little mobility into a barbell set. We're going to get this thing popping here. Mobility warm-up is going to be 2 rounds. We'll go for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, just a couple exercises to get you started. So what you're going to need is a bench. You're eventually going to need a barbell too, but we'll start off with the bench and just a little bit of real estate. The first move you're going to move into is the couch stretch. So to set this up, basically what I want you to do is take about, a step or two away from a bench. I want you to plant. I've got my left leg up on the bench kind of flat like so. And the next thing is I want you to bring that knee of that back leg all the way down to the floor if you can. Now, for some reason, this is really tight. You can pull that knee further away from the bench, away from your couch, whatever you're using as your elevated surface. And what that's going to do is alleviate some of that tension there in your quad. But if you can, have it nice and close, be in a nice upright posture. The next thing you're going to do is you're basically just going to try and rock your body weight up over that front leg. Notice how tall I'm staying. If I kind of hunch down like this, the stretch kind of goes away in the front of my quad. So stay up nice and tall. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to plant my hips here just so that it keeps me honest with my position of my chest. And I'm going to rock forward, letting my knee come over the top of my toe of that front foot. Ooh. And you'll work here for the full 45 seconds on. And just kind of floss side to side. If you want to, you can plant your hands here on the back of the bench, maybe pull, give yourself a stretch. Sometimes I like to take my left hand and stretch across the body too. It feels really nice. Oh. And then after your 45 seconds on, we're going to switch sides. So we take our 15 seconds of rest, we transition. Now my right foot is on the bench, planted, left foot's out in front. And now again, you can kind of floss through. I'll start here with that little stretch, and now I'm going to come forward. Now if you have one side that's a little tighter than the other, this is a great time to spend a little extra time on it. The warm-up times are more like guidelines to keep you kind of on pace and on track for the workout, not necessarily rules to where you can't deviate outside of them if for some reason you need to or you have a good reason to. Oh, I'm going to come across. Oh, baby. So after the 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off of both sides of that couch stretch, we're going to move into a crosshack squat. What I want you to do is just spread your feet just outside shoulder width. We're going to use our hands kind of on the ground to assist us through this move. I'm going to plant my hands down on the floor, and I'm going to just kind of go down like I'm doing a lateral lunge over to the right. And I'm kind of feeling this stretch here. If you can, see how low you can test your mobility down on the one side. Notice how I let my toe kind of pop up, stretching down. I'm going to plant it back on the ground, pop up, and then shimmy my hands over to the other side. And I'm basically just going to floss side to side, opening up that inner thigh. Oh, baby. And then working for the full working set. Oh, yeah. So after your 45 seconds of work, you'll take 15 seconds of rest. And the last move we're going to do here is called a touchdown squat. I'm going to turn this around. Hopefully this makes it a little easier to see. So with this, I'm going to need my elevated surface, your bench, your box, your couch, whatever you're going to use. I'm going to stand up. My right foot is going to be planted on the bench. Hopefully my head is not out of the frame. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to come down, squatting down nice and slow until I can touch the ground and then come back up. And it's nice, slow, and controlled. I'm making sure that I'm controlling that non-working leg all the way down into that position and then up. And I'm going to go for the full 45 seconds on. Boop. We'll take our 15 seconds of rest and then switch legs. So now I'm on the left. Again, controlling this other leg the whole time. Here, touch, and back up. Coming down, touch, and back up. After your 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off of those moves, we're going to go through one more time from the top, and after that we're going to get into the work. So I'm going to set this bench over here. You're going to need to grab your barbell at this point. We're going to stick with the same, we'll call script of what we're going to be moving. If you want to load your barbell, please feel free to do so. I'm going to do mine just unloaded here for the demo purposes, but probably throw some weight on for the actual working set I do after this. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to superset. Oh, baby, that was a good crack. Superset 2 movements. First one's just going to be a normal barbell back squat. Now, if you want to, you can do this to your bench. I'm going to demo that way, and then I'll take a step forward and demo the other way too. But we'll go 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, so you'll be here nice and relaxed. We're going to brace our core, come down, squat down if you want to your bench. You can come down here. You can release your feet if you want, and then stand. If you want to make it a more explosive move, you can come down like this nice and slow, and you can throw your feet into the ground and stand up, make it more like plyometric style. The other option, you step away from your bench, and you can just perform your normal back squat all the way down as far as you can go, and then all the way up, full range of motion. So after your 45 seconds on, we'll take 15 seconds of rest. Then we're going to move over to a supinated row. So barbell's coming up over my head. I'm going to now pull my hands so my palms face up. I'm going to hip hinge here right at the waist, a little slight bend in the knees, really lock my lats into position, and now I'm going to pull nice and high and work for the full 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So in this set of 2 moves, we're going to do 4 rounds, just alternating back and forth. So 8 minutes total, barbell back squats, and then supinated rows. Now be aware, it's a lot of volume, so be careful with the weight should you choose to add some. After those 4 rounds, we're going to move into our next superset, which is going to be a barbell good morning and an RDL. So what you're going to do, you'll sit on your bench, your feet will be nice and wide, and then you're just basically going to let your body, chest fall down and forward, keeping your hips with you, not letting your back bend, and then we're going to pop up, and we'll work for this full 45 seconds on. You should get a little stretch in your hips. Oh, baby. Maybe even your hams, even sitting down like this, I feel like I get it a little bit. Oh, yep. So after your 45 seconds of work, you'll take 15 seconds off. Then we're going to get into the barbell RDL. So from here, we're going to stand up, and we're basically going to pop our barbell up and over, back into this kind of deadlift style position. Then we're just going to hip hinge, let our hips go back, 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 back. Legs stay relatively straight all the way down, and then all the way up with a slight bend in the knees. Okay, so it's almost the same movement. We just doing one sitting down and one standing up. A lot of hip hinge, more hip hinge than knee bend. If you start doing a knee bend, it's going to get into a more of a deadlift pattern. And I basically just want, I'm going to turn to the side for a second. I basically just want your hips to shoot back. Let me pull up a little bit so I don't hit the bench. Hips to shoot back as far as you can. Slight knee bend. And notice how close the barbell is to my body the whole time. That's going to be super key in making sure you stay nice and balanced. So again, we're going to work those 2 moves, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off for 4 rounds. So we're up to 16 minutes of work. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to go with the barbell rollouts. Oh, baby. Let me move this bench out of the way. So when we do our rollouts with the barbell, it's going to be important that you've got some sort of a mat or real estate in front of you. This is similar to an ab wheel rollout, but if for some reason you only have access to a barbell today, that's why I'm going to demo with this. So feel free to use an ab wheel if you have one, but if you don't, stick with me. You're going to go plant your knees. Your hands are going to be on your barbell. If you have weights and you were not using them before, now's a great time to throw some weights on. It gives you a little bit of clearance with your hands. You can still do it like this with only this little bit of room, but it's a little bit easier if it's off the floor a little bit more. So here, we're just gonna roll out as far as our core kind of allows us to go, which mine will probably be limited by this end of the pad, which is fine. I'm gonna be here, nice and tight, and then I'm gonna pull back all the way. And then I'm gonna go back again, roll out as far as I can to here, and then pull back with the core the whole time. And you're gonna work 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off of just that move for 4 rounds in a row. So good luck. Let me know how you guys do, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.